Hi everyone, so let's have a crack at week 3. The first exercise is this loop ranger, and it says, let's read it out, return a list of numbers between start and stop in steps of step. So when we say start, stop and step, we're talking about these arguments that we're giving to the function. So start, stop and step. And if I switch to the terminal, then we can see when we're testing loop ranger, it's going to be tested with 3, 8 and 1, 100, 104 and 2, and 3, 8 and 1. So if I just grab these and Control Shift C to copy out of the terminal, and I can just put these inside the doc string, we can see what we're going to be testing against. So we can think about it while we're running the code. So the first thing we want to do is get rid of this pass, because we're going to do something. As soon as we get rid of the pass, it's time to be on our way. Right. First thing we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. So let's do it the easy way first. So let's make our new list equal an empty list. So that's like a bucket that we're going to throw things into, and it's giving us the linter warning of new list is assigned but never used, because we haven't used it yet, but that's not to worry about for the moment. And then we'll say for I in range, and we want to say start, stop, step, and then we want to append that to new list. So new list dot append. And see how I'm not pressing a lot of keys, I'm just letting it tab complete. And we want to append I. And then when we've done that, we want to return new list. So that's if we spread that out a bit so it's a bit more readable, that's the easy way to do this. So a lot of people have had a crack at doing it the hard way because they have misread the just as without using range at all. We're going to use just range in a second, but let's just talk through what this is actually doing. So if we come in with a start, stop and a step of 3, 8 and 1, then we're going to create this list, which if we do it in the terminal, we can see what those things do. So let's go back to the terminal, and we'll go to IPython, because IPython is just a little bit nicer, it just takes a little bit longer to run. And we'll try seeing what range gives us. So range, what do we want? 3, 8, 1. And so that gives us a list of numbers between 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So it's from the number we start with up to but not including the number we end with in steps of 1. So let's try the other one. Range 100, 104, 2. So that gives us 100, 102. And the last one is, we can press up to get the last thing back. So range between 3 and 8, but in steps. Oh, no, so let's do that in steps of 3. So that just gives us 3 and 6, because the next 3 would be 9, which is out of range. Okay, so those are the numbers that we're going to be testing this thing on. So if we exit out of that and run the test, now this does a lot of this kind of thing. Hold on, there's a plane going overhead. And it's not passing the tests. Now, the reason why it's not passing the tests, if we flick back to Atom, is because this little blue dot here is still blue. So it means that we haven't saved the file. So let's Control S to save it and flick back to the terminal. And then run the tests again. And then scroll back up. Sorry about this, there's quite a lot of scrolling in this one. Sing a little song while you're scrolling. Let's run those tests again. Make sure we didn't scroll too far. There we go. So I scrolled a bit too far. So now the loop ranger is working, and that's fine, which is good, because if it's working, then it should pass all the tests that we ever give it. So that's how you can do exercise 1 the easy way. A bunch of people have tried a hard way, but I'm going to just leave the easy way out there and move on to the next one.